The most haunting shot in Heel isn't the basement or the bruises. It's the look on Tommy's face when he clicks the latch on Gabby's cage. Most people walked out of this movie thinking it was a tragic case of Stockholm Syndrome, but they're missing the darker evolution. Tommy didn't just submit to the family, he became the family's most successful product. He's not a victim by the end, he's the head of sales. Heel isn't about a kidnapping. It's a pitch-black satire on the wellness industrial complex and the terrifying price of belonging. Tommy doesn't return to the manor because he's brainwashed. He returns because he's realized that being a well-fed pet is easier than being a starving human. He's trading his soul for a steady supply of stakes and structure. And he's bringing Gabby back not out of love, but out of a parasitic need to justify his own surrender. If you haven't seen Heel, turn back now, or you're going to be as lost as a suburbanite without GPS. We are diving deep into the trauma. The film starts with a standard abduction beat, but watch how Chris, our resident patriarch / cult leader, frames the violence. When Tommy throws his soiled pajamas at Kathryn, Chris doesn't just beat him, he disciplines him. The bullying video is the first major breadcrumb. Most thrillers would show a kidnapper using physical torture to break a lead. Instead, Chris uses shame. By forcing Tommy to watch his own digital footprint, the proud uploads of his past cruelties, Chris isn't just hurting Tommy's body, he's dismantling Tommy's ego. It's the ultimate cringe therapy. Chris targets the vacuum in Tommy's soul, the lack of responsibility, and fills it with heavy weight of a virtue that feels like a lead vest. The basement is bathed in a high contrast, sickly greens and yellows. It's the visual language of decay, but as Tommy begins to reform, the lighting shifts towards the warm amber glow of the upstairs. The message is clear. Compliance equals warmth. Let's talk about the rail system. This is the most brilliant and literal piece of visual storytelling in the film. Chris installs an overhead cable that allows Tommy to traverse the house, provided he stays on the track. The analyst in me loves this because it's a perfect metaphor for conditional freedom. The family tells Tommy he's earning trust, but the bell on his collar tells a different story. He's being treated like a golden retriever with a drug habit. The cynical take, this isn't rehabilitation, it's a human zoo. The rail doesn't help him walk, it dictates where he's allowed to exist. Then we have Charlie, the ghost of captives past. The script is tight enough not to give us a flashback, but the clues are in the room. Tommy is assigned a space that is clearly prepackaged for a specific type of failure. Charlie wasn't just a previous victim, he was the biological son who failed the family's high control standards. Likely an addict who overdosed. Chris and Kathryn aren't just kidnapping random people, they are trying to re-roll their dead son's life until they get the good boy ending. Tommy is just the latest save file. Look at Kathryn's emotional exhaustion. She's not a cackling villain. She's a woman who has been crushed by the labor of maintaining an authoritarian delusion. When she tries to shoot herself later, it's not because she's evil. It's because she realizes the perfect family is a high-maintenance lie that requires a constant supply of fresh blood to stay powered. The birthday steak scene is the turning point. Tommy has a knife. He has open air. He has the opportunity, but he doesn't strike. Why? Because of the first time in his life, someone made him a cake. This is the moment the domesticated instinct overrode the wild instinct. The cynic might see this as the moment Tommy realized he's too lazy to be free. The escape sequence in the third act is a masterclass in narrative misdirection. When Tommy uses the combination Rena gave him, we think we're watching a prison break. But look at the geography of the house. Tommy doesn't just run for the door, he stops to smash the chain with the skewer. He isn't just breaking the physical bond, he's performing a ritual. He wants to prove to Chris and to himself that he is choosing to stay or go. When Kathryn takes the gun and Chris lets him walk out, the movie shifts from a thriller to a psychological experiment. Chris realized that a bird in a cage is just a captive, but a bird that flies back to the cage is a disciple. Now let's break down the final homecoming. Tommy goes back to his real life and finds a vacuum. His mother hasn't called the cops, she's scrolling. His friends are getting wasted. The cynical view here is brutal. Tommy's life was so pathetic that being a kidnapped pet in a mansion was actually a step up in social status. When Tommy finds Gabby, he doesn't see a girlfriend, he sees a project. This is the most disturbing thematic shift in the film. Tommy has internalized Chris's messianic complex. He looks at Gabby's wasted life and decides he has the moral authority to fix her. Tommy drugs Gabby, drives her to the mansion, and burns the car. Burning the car isn't just about hiding evidence, it's the symbolic burning of the boats. He's ensuring there's no path back to the impure world. When he rings the bell, the very bell that was meant to humiliate him, he's using it as a dinner bell for his new family. He's not healing to Chris anymore, he's joining the management team. Here's the twist that recontextualizes the entire 110-minute runtime. The Manor is an ecosystem, not a prison. If we look at the debates surrounding the title change from good boy to heel, the community is kind of split. One camp argues this is a genuine moral rehabilitation, that Tommy actually is a better person now because he's sober and literate. And there's another theory I read that Jonathan, the son, was actually the first Tommy. The entire family unit is compromised of kidnapped, broken people who eventually graduated to parents once they broke the next victim. If that's true, the cycle isn't just repeating, it's expanding. Heel plays incredibly fair. From the first mention of the bullying video to the way Tommy looks at the rail system with more curiosity than hatred. The breadcrumbs were there. It didn't cheat with it was all a dream twist or anything. It stayed true to the horrific logic of human adaptation. It's deeply unsatisfying in the best way possible. It leaves you feeling oily. It challenges the audience. Is a safe cage better than a dangerous freedom? Most movies would give you a heroic escape. Heel gives you a comfortable surrender. It's a 10 out of 10 for psychological consistency, even if it makes you want to shower immediately after the credits roll. But what did you think of the ending of Heel/Good Boy? Let me know down in the comments below. You can check out my review of Heel here by my head, and YouTube thinks you'll like this other video by my head as well. And I'll see you next time.